you used our forum and your journaling as an accountability process for you?
Absolutely. If I take Robert H's inputs out of my trading journey, I think I would still be in sim. Or Ryan, he's the guy who I want to become.
Hey, what's up, YouTube traders? This is William from Bear Bull Traders, and today we have a member from our chat room, Vikram. Vikram's been trading for about 10 months now, and he recently went live, and he has a couple really interesting things to share about his trading journey that he's on so far. And again, we wanted to bring it to all of you to learn from a new trader and what they're doing. So Vikram, introduce yourself and tell us how you got into trading to begin with.
Hey, William. So glad to be here, and I would love to share my story. I've joined BBT community 10 months back, so in another 2 months I will be completing 1 year, so I'm going to have my anniversary. So
Congrats.
thank you. So I heard about, I'm not a trader at all. I mean, before joining BBT community, I never traded, not once. No swing, no day trading, no options, no nothing. So last year I met a friend in my German class and who was trading very actively, and I was interested in trading. So I was just having a conversation, and he recommended Andrew's book. So I bought it. In fact, I bought it on the 13th of July 2018. So
Wow.
which is it's exactly 1 year. 10 minutes away from 1 year.
Wow. You remember? How do you remember exactly the day? Why do you remember
Oh,
that?
yeah, I was just checking my journey. Just a recap. So you can call it journaling
Mm-mm.
of my journey. Yeah.
Mm.
So I took 2 months to finish his book slowly, and then I joined the BBT community in September, and the rest is history.
Yeah, so how long did you practice in simulator for as a new trader?
I practiced roughly about 4 5 months before I went live,
Hmm.
but I did not go live completely. I wanted to go under PDT rule. I did not fund my account fully.
Hmm.
I wanted to be picky on my trades. So under PDT rule, I could take only 3 trades per week. So I had to put a lot of thoughts into the trades that I'm getting in, whether the strategy matches with my personality. Is that something that I wanted to, enter in?
Hmm.
And it was a suggestion from Norm also, because it was not my own decision that, okay, now I'm going to go under PDT role, or I'm going to go live. Norm was, I asked that question with Norm, and he said, try live, right? While you are in sim, if you had spent enough time, try
Hmm.
going rare, but then don't trade too much. Just get a feel of, how your emotions are, when you're real. And that was a pretty good recommendation, and I loved it. I mean, that's one of the best suggestions I got from DBT moderators. I
Yeah.
did that.
Yeah, heck yeah. So, believe it or not, when I first started trading, I traded live from the very first day. I made like $2,000 or so on one of my first trades, and I thought it was so easy. And then I went on to lose tens of thousands of dollars during the next months. It was horrible. But I never went in simulator. So I want to note that, right? Can you imagine not going in simulator, not learning the mechanics, not learning setups, and going live right away? Like, it is such a different start, and I want you to comment on that difference, and that how Norm, one of our BBT moderators, helped you with the correct way to transition to live as well. Don't go live 100%, but go live slowly in a transition phase.
Exactly. Exactly. I mean, I would dare not go live on the first day of my trading.
Uh,
I
right.
won't bet my life on it now. So, yeah, with Norm, I mean, there is always an analogy of driving to the trading. So when you start learning driving, you don't actually go high speed on a Ferrari. you go 30 miles per hour
Mm.
on a Toyota or Honda with better safety features, and that's what you try to do. That's what you have to, and then you have to slowly increase the speed, and likewise you have to slowly increase the share size when you are live.
Hmm.
Otherwise, you're going to get into an accident. That's for sure.
Definitely. And during your simulator process, you actually were pretty active in our chat. I know you emailed me a couple times. You probably were talking to a bunch of different moderators, and you were so active. You took full advantage of getting hopefully all your questions answered from different experienced traders. The one thing that impressed me from the very beginning was your journaling skills. It seemed like you made journaling an integral part of your learning process. Can you explain kind of how you journaled and why you got so into journaling and trying to hone in your skills?
Yeah, totally, William. So it goes with my personality and what is being recommended in the BBT community also. See, I'm an introvert person, right? I don't talk a lot, but then a lot of things go through in my mind, and a forum is a proper way for me to communicate with other traders and also make a commitment
Mm.
to the fellow traders that I am journaling every day, irrespective of whether I make a profit or a loss. I must journal it. And so that's how I started it, and every single
Mm.
day I've done that.
Wait, so
Every single.
interesting. So you used our forum and your journaling as an accountability process for you?
Absolutely.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
I didn't know that. That's a really good way to use that. I love it. All right, keep going.
Because I have my forum buddies,
Mm.
I never talk to them, but then I interact with a lot of people in the forum, Rob C, Mark, and Mike B. So all of us talk to each other through forums, but
Mm.
so it's like a accountability. It's like a commitment that we give each other
Mm-hmm.
by journal.
S-
But more than that, there is so much importance given to journaling in the BBT community, and I heard from Peter about journaling first, and he shared his template also. I picked it up, customized it for my comfort, and started journaling every single day.
So, what were the biggest benefits you found from your journaling process through the months that you used it and you progressed?
Um, I feel journaling so important because a lot of times after journaling, I think about it. I think about my trade. Think about what I should have done. What are the signals that I missed? And then I go back and edit my journal. So I do it so many times.
Mm.
And then I go back and then edit it, and then I put my revised comments. Once I start documenting it, once I start writing it, it goes into my subconscious mind. So the next time hammer appears in a 1 minute
Mm.
or a shooting star appears in a 1 minute,
Mm.
I know what to do.
Right. Very nice. And so, specifically, what setups did you learn that you traded well from your journaling? And maybe what setups did you learn that you don't win very often from your journaling and you learned to avoid those? Like, did you make those kind of realizations through the journaling process that's really hard to do without it?
So that's a great question, William. So I had a limitation during my trading time also. I was time constrained. I can trade only between 9:30 a.m. Eastern time for 30 or 40 minutes, not
Mm.
more than that. So I had to find a way to, kind of identify some setups that work within this time frame. After that, I'm away for a couple of hours, and then I come back and take reversals. What I found through my journaling is that at the open, I was doing well,
Mm-hmm.
and typically I take Williams harmonious charts are my favorite setup, A plus setup, and I also take the pullback ORB breakout entry setup, the 3C setup, you
Mm.
know that, and also the fallen angel. I've had a lot of success with it.
Mm-hmm.
We use it only for low flows, but through my journaling, I found out that a lot of almost 90% of my fallen angel setups are successful. So
90%?
90%, yeah.
How often do you see those setups?
Um, well, during in the last 1 month,
Hmm?
as part of my challenge, I think I took it. about 6 or 7 times.
Hmm.
I know Andrew teaches Fallen Angel as part of his book, and take some of the traits. But for me, I wanted to customize it. So what I do is I don't take it at the reversal point below the resistance, but I take it after the price action crosses the resistance and opens up above the support.
Hmm. Got it. Hmm.
A bit technical, but then
Hmm.
yeah, that's always so that's very important that everyone has to customize, understand the setups, learn the setups, and then customize it to their own. And yeah, coming back to the journaling,
Hmm.
what I found out was that I'm not very good at reversals. um, I've taken multiple times, especially the Robert H. Great reversals. I know a lot of guys have success with it. Somehow it's just not, I'm not good at it.
Hmm.
Uh, and yeah, and some of the other reversals also.
Yeah,
Uh,
but man, that's good, right? Through your journaling process, you realized that, and then did you stop taking them or not? Hopefully, you did.
I stopped taking them
Good.
actually.
That's the point.
Yeah, yeah. I wanted to focus on the setups that I know those are my strengths, and
Hmm.
then take only those setups.
Right, and so this is one reason I wanted to talk with you, man, because you had never traded before. You read Andrew's book. You took advice to be in simulator for 5 months. Then you took advice from Norm, one of our BBT moderators and team members, to transition slowly into real. And then all that accumulated in your journaling and going through this in the slow, methodical process. And now enter the DOS Trader Challenge that you were a member of. So tell us about your experience with the DOS Trader Challenge and how you ended up doing, knowing that you're still a very new trader and you're trading against non-new traders in that challenge for sure. So how'd you
Yeah.
do?
I think we missed one part, William.
Hmm.
So I want to call out specifically that
Hmm.
we missed the mentorship part,
Hmm.
where I reached out to you and Robert so many times and
Yeah.
so many emails, and you guys responded, so well. I mean, I would say if you guys, if I take your inputs and Robert H's inputs out of my trading journey, I think I would still be in sim, or I would still be learning very slowly. So you guys have a very important part in my trading journey. I want to call out that.
Yeah, thank you very much. And I want to note that, like, traders in our room, they connect with certain other team members, and a lot of different traders connect with different team members. So thank you so much for connecting with Robert and I. All of our other team members, they have their connections with traders as well. We all try to, whoever connects with us, we do our best to respond, to reach out to all of you, because we were in your positions once, and sometimes we didn't get the help, and we really understand that and do our best to help all of our members in that way. So thank you very much for appreciating it. It's a lot of work, but we are happy to do it, man.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you,
Yeah.
William. So yeah, coming back to the challenge.
Uh,
After my sim duration, I wanted to go live completely, lift off the PDT role, and that's when this DAS challenge came up. DAS Best Trader Challenge it was sponsored by DAS and Nasdaq. So I wanted to take that challenge and have it as my final exit criteria. And if I succeed in that, if I'm able to stick to my rules, if I'm able to trade only my strategies, during this 1 month period, then for me that was a sign to go live and lift up the PDT, and all is well. And that was my intention or motivation to take that challenge. And like I said, so what I did was I started very slow. I did not consider it as a competition. Rather, I wanted to have my own target. I wanted to make $15,000 to $20,000 at the end of the month. That was my target, and that's what I was focusing on. I was not focusing on what others were making. And so I started very small share size, just like what I do in my live account. During the first week, my share size were very small. I had 5 green days, and I increased my share size. And next 2 weeks I had green days. I had only one red day
Mm.
in my first 3 weeks. Then I hit three max loss days.
In the last
Yeah,
week, shoot.
yeah, yeah.
uh,
In the last week, so I was up 14K, and then in the last week I had three max loss days. So I was down to 10K. Then, as per my rule, if I had three max loss days, then I need to cut down my share size.
mm.
So I cut down my share size. So last 2 days, I had a small green, but I was okay.
Mm-hmm.
So overall, I ended up around 10K, but that was enough of, for me to get second place in the overall challenge.
Yeah. Vikram, I don't know if you realize what you just said that's so awesome. You were treating this challenge as real as possible. You hit 3 max loss days, and probably a lot of traders would have FOMO at that point, thinking you need to win this competition, and they would increase their share size to make the money back for the remaining days. You, on the other hand, decreased your share size. You went smaller, and what were you rewarded with? A place in the DOS challenge as second place. I mean, that is an awesome example of when you do the right things, you get paid off for it. So great job, man. So you placed second. And who was the trader in front of you?
So we had two traders in front of me.
Oh.
So two guys got the first place, and both these guys traded options.
Hmm.
So in a way, I'm the first guy who
Right.
was in the inner circle trading equities. So,
Uh-huh. And,
so
and what was the prize for that?
oh, that's awesome,
Yeah.
actually. It's a once in a lifetime experience at NASDAQ. Be there as part of the winner circle and watch the live billing, have a tour of NASDAQ and take a keepsake photo. That's a lot. And then some additional perks like DOS Trader Pro, 3 months membership, 3 months, membership fee, um, and also something else. I think a travel trading station, a
You
monitor, and a few other things. Yeah,
you got a travel trading station? I didn't know that
not the
part.
laptop,
Huh?
not the laptop, but then not the laptop, but then other accessories. Yeah, sure.
Oh, wow. Awesome, man. That's great. All right, Vikram. So you did pretty great so far through your 10 months of training, kind of following the right type of process that any trader needs to follow to be successful. Was there anything in your background or your previous career that you think helped influence your ability to go through this process in the correct way that you've been going through it?
Yes, of course, William. As part of my job, over 15 years, I used to interact a lot with CIOs and CEOs of different companies. And what we do was at the end of the month, I get reports or charts from my team, and I have to create an inference or a tangible output reading those charts, and then discuss it with the CIOs and CEOs, right? So I like that part where you read a chart and then you don't just look at it as just lines and dots, but then get some information out of it, right? So we call it.
Mm-hmm.
And in trading, I kind of found the similarity where we are looking at chart patterns. A lot of people, or even I, when I started, I looked at red and green candles, but then now what we see is when there is an hammer appearing, or when there is a shooting star, or when there is an engulfing pattern, what it means. We learn all these through this community, right? I mean, in our community, especially, it's not a one-man show, and I'm pretty sure Andrew will be the first guy to admit it. This community is all about collaborative intelligence. People join in, they share ideas, they learn from each other, and we have moderators, we have a lot of traders who share their ideas. For example, Kurt and Thor, whose wedge is making a sensation right now, the chat room. And so we have a lot of good traders. We have Ayman, who's a very good technical trader. So
Yeah, and Vikram, you just listed off all the newest moderators we just added to our team, and Thor is awesome. He's not part of our team, but he's he's adding his experience, and he's adding what he's learned from Bearable Traders. He's modified it for himself through interacting with other traders in our room, and then he's adding it back to our room, and then we're learning from him. Andrew's learning from Thor, right? Thor learned from Andrew, and now Andrew's learning from Thor, which is so awesome, part of our community. Now, to be honest, I was never part of a trading community in the beginning. Then I joined Bearable Traders many years ago. Then I left, and I joined another community. Then I left that community, and then I rejoined Bearable Traders through all that experience. So I know all you know is Bearable Traders, and you never traded on your own. But what kind of benefits, if anything, do you see from being part of the community like this that you can share with everyone else who's thinking about our community or any other community?
I think the first thing that we'll have to do in a community is, first of all, we need to find our own personality, right? You need to find, what you are good at, what is your limitation, and what you can do well. And once you know your strengths and weaknesses in the community, you will find many experienced traders who have the same personality. Like I connect with you and Robert, and a lot of people connect with Norm and Peter and Carlos. So you can actually find your own mentor and share ideas, get feedback, and then improve on yourself. And then once you are pretty good at trading, then share your views and your ideas in the forum, and everybody learn from each other.
Yeah, and that's so true, right? Carlos, Norm, Peter, myself, Robert, and the new traders, we all trade actually and surprisingly quite different from each other, but we've all learned from each other as well. So you're right, like we have so many traders that can connect with different trading styles to match their own personality, which is pretty awesome. And then Andrew trades, his own way as well. So we all trade differently, we all try to share. So as a trader, you can connect with someone that fits your trading style and personality, which is an awesome benefit actually of our community. And that's what drew it to me also. I love that part in the beginning.
Just one more point.
Yeah.
I talked about the crowd intelligence, and I think that's showcased very well as part of your trade review section, right? Where everybody shares their trades. We get the review comments from not only from you and Peter, but then from every other members, right? So when you hear those things, the right things from so many people, it automatically gets into your subconscious mind, right? And that's so good because, as part of trading, as far as my understanding goes, you should be a subconscious trader, just like how you drive a car. So that's so awesome and perfect example of crowd intelligence.
Well, thank you so much, Vikram. Is there anything else you would like to say to share with anyone who's watching this at all?
Thank you very much for inviting me for this interview. Actually, just one last thing that I'd like to say is if you're a new trader and learning trading, try to find your own style. I know a lot of people say that. It's become a cliche, but then try to find your own style that fits your personality, that fits your limitation. And I would say don't get into any bad habits while trading, because once you know it's a bad habit, there is every chance that you will get back in it. Fortunately for me, a lot of times I did not respect my rules, but every time I got burned. I was so lucky that I got burned. So otherwise it will give false hopes. And I think that's it. And yeah, I never copied Andrew's trades, and I'm sure Andrew will be the first guy to be so proud of it.
He would applaud you for that if you've never copied his trades. Even I've copied his trades a couple of times. Good job, man. All right, thank you so much, Vikram. We really appreciate it, man. And you're in Germany right now. What time is it in Germany?
It's past midnight, actually.
Oh shoot, it's 3:00 here right now in LA. So thank you so much for staying up for this. I really appreciate it, man, and hope you have a great weekend.
No problem. Thanks for inviting me, William.
Cool, thanks.
That Ryan, he's the guy who I want to become. When I am so experienced in trading. I mean, he's so calm and level-headed. during trading, and not only me, most of the guys in the community want to be Brian. So special thanks to him too for the guidance.